welcome to a show called Dice Goblins because that's what we're talking about today. Sam, Kraken Dice. Okay. Y'all know I love Kraken Dice so much they get my money every time. There are a few new, very exciting developments happening. And I want to share that with you. So we are going to trip on over to our showcase window. Oh, ha. And so, y'all, the Leviathan is back in their store. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. It's 500, but hear me out. Okay. This is a centerpiece that I have been just dying for the longest time. Of course, they have one in my favorite color too. Of course they do. Of course they do. Right there. And so psyched to see them back in the store now. I still wait for the day when I can actually afford one, because that's just it's an awesome piece. Just be careful. It is solid aluminum as advertised. So you want to be real careful. You don't want to go bowling with it. No, no. This you don't really want to roll this. You will get yourself or someone else in trouble. But it is a lovely. With that said, it is a lovely centerpiece. They have them in every color that you could possibly need to go with your decor. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Also, looks like there's a new set that is one of my new favorites, which surprised me, called Sahuagin Snuggles. And this set, now, y'all know my obsession with purple, which is interesting because this does have hints of purple in it. It has hints of purple mixed with a goldish or limeish green a little bit, and silver lettering. The silver lettering goes along with it very well. And I feel like, well, first of all, it's called Sahuagin Snuggles, because quite obviously it is actually patterned after the coloring for the actual D&D creature, which I was yesterday old and didn't realize it existed. Well, here it is, folks. And this is a amphibious humanoid creature. It's got feet, webbed feet that kind of look like frog feet. And it's got a tail. So it looks like its tail looks almost like an eel's tail. It's got these cool looking fins right on the forearms. And yeah, pretty fearsome teeth. I gotta say, like, I am totally intimidated by this creature. Not to mention, the long harpoon staff that it's holding right here. So yeah, that's pretty fearsome. But gotta admit, got the purple and green going right. So I believe that the folks on over at Kraken Dice have captured the color scheme of this extremely well. Extremely well. And there's even this nice glitter that flows throughout that also just looks hella cool. And so that's it for me. It's got some purple in it. It's got pretty glitter. Sold. As you can tell, it doesn't take much to please my eye in that respect. So that's the Sahuagin set available now. It is a 14-piece set. Then what I've noticed is there is this Shattered Theorem series that has come up. And in honor of Women's Month, there are four sets available: the Lamar, the Haynes, Hypatia, and Nightingale, after famous women in history. And right now, I feel like let's see, which two are my favorite? I'm gonna go, yeah. I mean, Hedy Lamar, come on, fam, of course. And her set, that is a 14-piece set as well. That is a lovely, just this lovely pink set, with silver numbering, and it's got beautiful confetti glitter throughout. It's just so fun. I totally love it. And also the other set that I liked was the Nightingale set. And so this one is like this really rich red that's happening here. Red is the color of blood, is the color of life. So, this is like life of the party dice right here, especially with the confetti glitter and the silver numbering once again. It's just so much fun with the way that they put the glitter in these sets of dice. So, all of the Shattered Theorem dice are 14-piece limited edition sets. Check them out now. Uh, as you know, if you're really a fan of Kraken dice, these sets sell out so quickly. Yes, of course, Hedy Lamar is the bomb and Bay all rolled into one. Agreed, Stella. I mean, just the best. So, and then one more thing that is currently happening on Kraken's site right now, they have these collectibles. So you get a free unpainted Kraken's collectible miniature. And I believe, let's go into it. That's included for free on orders over $20 before taxes and shipping. And they've got a few here. They've got some skeletons here. Look at the skeleton with the bow. That's interesting. I like that. That's really cool. And so yeah, if you they've got other ones here too. Let's see. Ooh, they have an assassin Alejandro. Look at that. Oh man, what? Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on here. Look at that. Oh, I like that. And they've got like daggers in detail on a bandolier on their chest. I like this. Quiver of arrows at the ready, bow attached to their back, and I like this is classic, um like Japanese style rogue here, or ranger, as in this, this could be a ranger too, what with the arrows and whatnot. But and looks like a short sword in one hand and a dagger in the other. Just look at that. That's really cool detail. I like that so much. That's just amazing. So, and then they had, look at that hair too. Sass. I mean, the word sass is in the word assassin. So there it is. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, really? Oh, congratulations to your bestie. Oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful to hear, Stella. That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, and they also have a fighter too. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Hello, Jon Snow. Excuse me? Look, Brian the Fighter. Don't you love it? And there's these details, like the details of like the fur draping over him with the cape and everything. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So that's amazing. I love it. Hair all perfect hair, right? That's amazing right there. Holding a sword. That is the hand of the king right there. Pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Let's see how luxurious this. Oh, yeah. Yep. Fully luxurious cape here. That's amazing. That is amazing. So, otherwise, what we'll be looking at today, let me see. There's one more thing I think I wanted to point out. We just make sure because I think we have seen all of their latest. Okay, here's one more thing. So, looks like for a 2 day sale, they've also got spend 40 days and get a free mini metal dice set. Awesome! I've really come to love metal dice in particular because I mean, acrylics are nice, they're fine. I have a tendency to be heavy handed as is. So I like it when I have some weight to my dice. And so sometimes you'll have a metal die like let's see. Hold on. I'll show you. The one of the metal die I have is this lovely. Okay, I have a die about this size. Okay, that's a big old whammer. Okay, as opposed to one of my smaller die. Okay. This is a regular size one, and that's the big whammer. Okay. So, and I really love just the regular size die is nice enough. It has a nice feel to it at that size. It's cooler to have a bigger die. Honestly though, sometimes I feel like hesitant to roll it because I don't want it to bounce out of my tray and knock into something precious because I have a heavy hand. So, solution, you shrink down the dies and then you don't feel like you're going to break everything in the room, which is really helpful. So, oh, hey Dan, what's going on? Listen, you guys, if you guys haven't checked out Saint Stella's channel, you should definitely go follow her immediately, please. Because her adventures in a Asteri campaign are amazing. I am so invested in y'all's story. And anyone that hasn't yet gone over to Nat One Fun's channel, Dan over there is amazing as a DM as well. So please to follow both of them. You'll be glad you did. So so we've talked about dice, and what we're going to do next is we are going to bring on my lovely guest. We're going to take a break, give it about 5 minutes, and we can bring on a vocal outburst. And everybody, stretch, take a bio, get hydrated, drink your water, do what you need to. And in 5 minutes, we're going to come on back with vocal. All right. See you in 5 minutes.
I'm doing good. It is definitely one of those days where it's like more. It was raining earlier today, so I feel like that's the claim. But it's more of a tired day, like a sleep-in day, than it is any other day. It's very weird. Really? Oh, okay. Understandable. Understandable. Oh, jeez. Usually I like the rain. Usually it's nice, it's peaceful. I have it playing in the background when I sleep. But during the day, I'm definitely less of a morning person than I am a night person. During the day when it's raining, oh, that's just disrespectful. It's just not a nice way to start your day. Um, yeah, it's very much an insult, and I do not take it kindly. And so yeah, yeah, it's just mm, yeah. Thanks for having me. Mm, I feel that. Mm, really awesome. So so I have what I have is a monstrosity. So I have a couple things. I mean, they're not dice set. And my room is a mess, so I can't find the other thing. But what I do have, at least I have a little dice jail for my bad dice that a friend of mine made for me. Um, and I was gonna find the big bag. I have my first bag of dice, which is the big old like bag of devouring dice, just a bunch of amalgamation of different dice. I'm that chaotic of a character. So I will grab a chunk full of dice. I'm a window shopper when it comes to dice. Like I love looking at different shops for dice and stuff like that. But putting down the money to actually like have it be sent my way is a scary thing. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you got it. You got it. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't have it on me like right this second, but I can grab it real quick. Yeah. Mm, cool. Yeah. Mm, I totally get you. Mm, yeah. No, I totally get you. Sure thing. Yeah, sounds good. And my audio's good on your end. Is that chill? Cool, cool. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, fam. And we are back. So I hope everyone has had a great break and taken a break, done what you needed to do. And so, I just today happens to be that type of day by me. I don't know how it is by y'all, but over by me today, it is like rainy and like, I know some people love the rain, however, it makes me want to curl up and go to sleep. That is not helpful. So, it's a little bit difficult for your girl when it's a day like today outside. Um, but in any rate, let me introduce you to my lovely guest. And as soon as your girl figures out where she put here it is. Okay. I
Take your
have to
time.
have my I have to t- have my I have to have my intro ready. Here we go.
Mm,
So, today I have the honor to bring on a very special guest. I've had the privilege of playing alongside his character Matthias, the Dragonborn warlock, with my own character Cole, the Dragonborn barbarian, Dragonborn Bros, in the ongoing D&D 5e campaign Evanrune, over on the Nerdlandia G channel on Twitch. He is the self-proclaimed, and I quote, music doofus that'll nerd out with you anywhere, anytime. It is my pleasure to introduce Vocal Outburst.
wow. That was a intro that I haven't received ever. I've never received an intro like that. That is, I am humbled and thank you very much for having me here.
You got it.
All the things, all the
Absolutely.
nice things. You're too kind.
Listen, so glad to have you on today, man. Listen, let me tell you something. Y'all need to definitely make sure to check out Vocals SoundCloud. And I'm going to be posting the links. I'll be posting all his links on chat, because let me just say, man, I've had your SoundCloud playlist on repeat like ever since it came to my attention. I
Oh, man.
mean, there's a few songs, 2 songs in particular
Mhm.
on here. Um, Fun with the Sun and Wish in the Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, and especially because of how rainy it is over by me
Mm.
today, as soon as I heard Wish in the Rain, it was like, I wanna just curl up in a
Aw.
ball, and it's beautiful. It's just
That's
it
so
total
nice.
totally
Thank
fit
you.
the mood. I
Yeah,
mean,
the cool thing about those 2 pieces in particular, I one of the things that, as a composer, I score for a, WebToon series, that, you can find. It's a relatively popular one, called, Asterion, and, this, like, not to spoil too much about what goes on in the comic, because I like, you guys should check it out. It's a really great comic. But basically in that scene, the entire just issue at that point is in the rain, and the creator asked me, he's just like, hey, it's more of a like dramatic kind of scene, and didn't mention anything about it being in the rain, but she sent me like panels, and I looked at it, it's all in the rain. I'm just like, I wonder if I just like made it like something that people could listen to while it's pouring rain outside, and then there came the piece. So yeah, yeah,
nice.
of course it's
Yep. I mean, isn't inspiration funny like that sometimes?
oh
Sometimes
yeah,
you'll
absolutely.
just it just takes that one little phrase or that one little, mention,
Hmm.
and you just explode
No, yeah,
into
full on, like, go creative brain, go.
It's
Doesn't stop.
amazing. And so let's see. So Stella is saying, can we turn up vocals mic a little bit? Let's see. I just adjusted it here. So let me just readjust.
I can turn up myself
And
too if you need to.
yeah, there we
Let's do that.
go. Okay, very good. So
Cool, cool.
now,
All right.
yep, we should be able to hear you a little better. So we're
Awesome.
gonna actually go over to our showcase window. Okay, so come on with me. Here we go.
I'll be right here.
And so now, now we've got your Insta up, and you guys should be seeing his links in chat shortly. And we're gonna go. I have to let folks hear this. There is a
Oh.
pinned post that you have, and
Mhm.
I hope everyone is able to hear this. Let's take a listen. I mean, this is just and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a
Mm.
session, just what an impromptu session that you had at the piano. Talk about this for a second.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was definitely impromptu. It was one of those moments where I was like, I was at the piano and I had my phone and it was charged enough for me to actually use it to record that. Um, I, huh what can I say? Because like I have to be careful about what I say here because that was it's not like I signed an NDA or anything like that. If
Got you.
it was more of just like what I was doing was like in the middle of it was in the middle of coming up with an idea for someone, right?
Okay.
And that piece right there completely was just kind of impromptu. But in
In the
the
description, you have it as a
yeah.
love as quote unquote "a love letter to Joe Hisaishi,"
Yeah.
who is
So he is the one of the main composers for the majority of the Ghibli films. So all of your favorites like Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor
yeah.
Totoro, like he is the guy who scored these things. And both as a kid and as an adult, I adored this man's work. One of the many reasons for why I wanted to become a composer in the first place. And at the time
Wow.
of coming up with that little thing, my inspiration was full on Ghibli films. Like I was watching them, I was listening to all the soundtracks, and then in the middle of a break, I was giving myself to scoring something for someone else. I was just toying around on the keys, and I came up with something that sounded very Ghibli-esque. And so I was like, "Yeah, why not?
Hey, why not, right?
Yeah, yeah."
That's
And
amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. Let's I'm gonna restart it from the beginning here,
sure.
and hopefully folks can hear it. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ah. Applause, applause, applause,
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
applause.
thank you, thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. I don't know that you know this, but
Mm.
when I was younger, I went to Harlem School of the Arts, which
Oh,
is a very
cool.
well-known arts
Yeah.
academy up in New York City, and I took classical piano. So I
Mm.
think for that reason alone, piano music in particular has always stayed with me.
Mm.
Just in right into adulthood. It was the first instrument for me to ever learn how to play music on.
Yeah.
And I've always loved all manner of piano music, whether it's classical or it's jazz, contemporary. Just there's so many ways that piano is used in music.
Yeah.
Even I find myself gravitating towards, songs of my favorite genres that have
Mm.
piano hooks mixed in,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to R&B and hip hop and just in different ways. I just love piano music. And
Mm.
when I sat and listened to that, I said, that's total anime, like an ending theme for an anime right there. Like I can see
It's
those
definitely the
references that
goal.
you speak of. I can definitely
I'm
see the
glad that you said that.
references. Yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
I'm definitely a an anime enthusiast as well, and
Nice.
it's amazing the type of I'm like the type of musical history that Japanese anime has contributed to. You think
Yeah.
about, Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo and
Mm.
just the best, most popular animes always have that music, that sound,
Yeah. Yeah,
So
like that iconic like anime like feel to it, the moment that you hear it, you're just like, "Oh, that has to be from an anime, right?" It's something that feels like it should definitely be a skill, and in many ways it is. But I feel like engulfing that medium for as long as for just a good while can turn you to some pieces that weren't made for anime or were closely made for like some sort of anime. You can be like, oh, I could see that in an anime, right? I'm working my way there at the moment, so it's so hearing that like I'm somewhere in the ballpark is very comforting and humbling, and so I
oh, yeah.
I think so.
Oh, yeah,
I thank you.
well, that begs the question,
Mm,
what was that moment that inspired you to become an independent creator?
mm.
What was that
Ooh.
experience like at first?
Yeah, so I have always been into finding my own way to do what I want to do. That's putting it very vaguely. It's just like me as a person. But to hone it down musically, I had a private lesson teacher for piano when I was 3. But I couldn't continue with her until I couldn't continue with her after the age of 8 because she became too old, and I never had a piano lesson teacher after that. Now, granted, I
Wow.
took like trombone at 4th grade up until I graduated high school, and even went on to college for a little bit. But all throughout that entire time, anytime I saw a piano, I wanted to play it. I would play like covers of like, the greatest hits of the 2000s. I knew how to play Thousand Miles and Piano Man. It was just like, your regular stuff. But then I came across a game, my first memorable game, which was Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the Game Boy. And I I got in trouble so much for playing that game too much. I would stay up. I was like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid, and I would stay up to playing this game endlessly. Somewhat because the game was fun, and also because the music in that game was so good. And then Kingdom Hearts 2, I realized was a thing, and I had to go full on that. Still to this day, favorite game of all time, has the greatest pieces of music that I would ever want to hear in my life. And
Agree.
ever since
I've been in like I had watched. I hadn't had the opportunity to play myself, but I had watched
mm,
friends play, and
mhm.
I watched them play because I like the music so much. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
God,
Oh
it's so
man.
good. It's it's
Mhm.
it's it's the kind of stuff that like it gives you the same feelings that you would as a Ghibli movie, which is why I love and respect Joe Hisashi so much.
I
And yeah.
actually my love for Hitara Ikaru actually started
Mm,
with
with
that
that,
game. Yeah,
yeah.
because I was like, "Who is this singing this lovely theme song?" And then I ended up getting into her music. To this day, her music is still on my playlist. So,
Mhm.
yes, agree.
Yeah,
Totally
dude.
agree.
It's yeah, I am a yeah, full-blown fan. And I mean like after like playing these games over and over again, you can't help but think like, well, are you going to do something about that? What are you going to become like a game designer or are you going to do like a are you going to do voice acting? I happened to be around music, so I chose the music aspect of these things and any chance that I could take to get closer to you know, having the same kind of impact on a project through like my ability to create music, like Yoko Shimomura's ability to create music for Kingdom Hearts has had on me as a kid. That's my ultimate goal. Like once I knew that was a feasible thing that people do that for a living,
Right?
I was like,
Because
yeah,
nobody tells
I
you
I
these
want to take a
things.
crack at
Like
it.
you
No,
kind
no.
of at least growing up,
Mm,
and you can't you can only understand that your parents tried to guide you toward the most lucrative solutions, and
hmm.
they can only, they're only coming from where they're coming from.
Of
So,
course.
if especially if they're not even into video games as hard as you are,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
maybe
It's
maybe they were into comic books, maybe like old
mm,
school like DC or
maybe.
Marvel comics back in the
Right.
day, right?
Mhm.
But like video games were much more of a thing within our generation, I
Mhm.
find. And so
Yeah.
when they're not that knowledgeable about that, it's not like little kids at our age were growing up like, I want to be a music composer. No,
No, yeah,
everybody
right?
wanted, the normal
The
defaults of
doctor, the
the doctor, the
firefighter, the
lawyer,
astronaut.
right,
Yeah, all
exactly.
those
Even
things, you know?
even the astronaut, as out there as that is, that was way
Right.
more,
Oh, yeah. I mean, the
one of the
spacesuits, the
norms.
spacesuits. It was the spacesuits,
Yes,
right? Everybody wanted to wear a spacesuit. It looked really cool, made you look like a superhero on Earth. It was
right.
just super, super fun stuff. I mean, like, when is the? I love asking people this because it varies, but it's usually generally the same answer. Like, when was the last time or the first time you remember? Like realizing that there are voice actors for people for cartoons, right? Like I feel like I
Right.
didn't understand that until like way like later into my teens,
Mhm.
like maybe like early high school or even middle high like mid to late high school. Like
Yep.
I didn't realize that when they showed that cast of people, like they like go into booths and they there's like it's not just like 2D characters like bonking each other with anvils and pianos. Like there are people
You
behind microphones that
exactly. Foley
that's
artists and
yeah,
everything,
and Foley
especially
artists
when
and yeah.
yeah, especially going back to like the live radio plays, which have come back to the forefront in the guise of podcasts anyway.
Mhm.
But when they used to actually have a sound stage devoted to
Mhm.
live plays,
Yeah.
is just, it blows my mind
Yeah.
to think that growing up, somehow I just magically thought that these productions were just put out there because my
Yeah, it
mom
just
actually, she's still like, there's a couple of satellite, you know, XM radio,
mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, stations that have like the old school, like 1930s, 1940s
Oh,
teleplays that
wow.
they used to have. So she listens to that in the car. And
Wow.
so I grew up in that environment. I grew up with books
Mhm.
on tape, right?
Nice,
And
nice.
so, but nobody ever like lets you know that this is something that you can go into as a
Mhm.
profession, as a working profession,
Right.
as an adult. So, well, let me ask you this:
Oh.
as far as your creative process, I mean, your
Mhm.
creative process kind of inspires other people's creative process. Let's be I mean, you know,
That's very true.
there's chill beats and so-fi beats and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah, yeah.
that people put on when they're doing other creative things. So,
Mhm.
what is your inspiration for your creative process?
Ooh, um, that is a hard question because of the reason that you gave. I mean, like, like, just hearing about how somebody got into that position of your dream job, like, you immediately want to just like do that, right? It's different for everybody else. And for me personally, I find that my creative mindset is fueled by other people's creative mindsets. And I know that's
Mm,
putting it vaguely, and I know pretty
okay.
much every creative can kind of do that, but I can't see myself creating something without looking at somebody else's piece of beautiful work and being like, wow, that's awesome. Maybe I can be a creative. If I if I like don't consume like creativity, if I don't consume cool things, then I'm just gonna think I'm gonna be in this weird writer's block. So you'll see me often like my Spotify is just full of long hours. My YouTube history is full of various amounts of like animation videos to music production videos to games of like to Critical Role, Dimension 20, all that kind of just anything that will feed my creative brain and make me think, God, it's so cool to be a nerd. And then I'll just immediately and then bam, a song is just right there.
Ah,
So
I
you
mean,
heard it here first, folks.
yeah, I
If you
hear
watch enough
that.
cartoons, you just churn it out like you're a well-oiled machine. Just
That's
watch more Looney
right.
Tunes.
That's right. I mean, and then the other thing, well, as far as what have you been working on lately? Is there anything you could talk about at all, or
Ooh.
are there NDAs involved? I understand that
So
struggle fully.
so I will. So I have a few things that aren't NDA restricted.
Okay.
I so that comic that I was talking to you about, it's coming to an end. It has about 10 more episodes left, I think, as of now.
Okay.
Um, Definitely check out Asterion on WebToons. Whether or not I will be scoring another final piece before the thing ends, I don't know. I guess you'll have to read the comic to find out. But what I can tell you is that there are a lot of other uh like pieces that I have on there that you can check out. And please do. I think
Got it.
that
I'm gonna try to go ahead and pop that link in the chat for
yeah, yeah,
us
yeah.
here
Cool,
because yeah,
cool.
that's I'm already intrigued. I've already got it bookmarked and earmarked so I can start it because it looks amazing. It looks
It's
absolutely
so
awesome.
it's a really great story, very endearing, very inclusive. They have some awesome topics in there. I think it's just a really heartwarming kind of comic, and I'm really honored to be a part of it. Um, I mean, speaking, I know you mentioned Cat and Realm of Everrune. I will be scoring a theme for that show soon. So yeah, you guys
What?
will be able to hear like
Yes.
heroic
Oh my
themes and stuff
gosh.
like that. So I can't
Oh
wait for that to
my
be. to be
gosh.
shared for sure.
That's gonna be
Um,
amazing.
it's
Oh
gonna
my
be
gosh, I can't
fun. It's
wait.
gonna be cool.
I
Yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait.
And
And then of course you're over there
mhm.
on the Stella's
Of course,
campaign
Stella's.
as
Yeah.
well.
There might be some music things happening there too. And so there's so much music stuff that I'm a part of. My main goal is to get better at social media so that people can see the things that I do. Because
Yes.
at the moment, I'm afraid of it. I stay very clear from all social media unless I have a funny meme in my head that I only think is funny, in which I will share it with everyone for them to sigh right at their phone screens. That is the only reason I use social media at the moment.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
the
hopefully,
necessary beast, the
no,
necessary
right?
beast,
Yeah.
of
I mean,
course.
like, hopefully
So,
that more of the things that I'm working on in the future that you guys can witness will be shared on my socials. So that,
very, very
yeah, all
cool.
those are there in the chat.
Yes, yes, indeed. So check out Asterion on WebToons, guys. The link is available in chat for you guys.
Mhm.
And other than that, so we unfortunately have come to the end of our time. Now, we do have there
Ooh.
is a tradition that I
Oh,
have on the show.
oh.
As we outro.
Mm,
It goes like this. Ready? It goes
mm.
love,
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 peace, and
peace,
soul.
and soul.
This is how we roll.
This is how we roll. Oh wow,
Yes,
that's cool.
yes.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
You
I
did
love
the
that.
thing. We did
I
the thing.
we did the thing. That was great. That
Okay.
was great. I
All
might have to
right.
steal that, but I'll give you credit. That's fair.
Please do.
I'll be fair. I'll be fair. I'll be fair about it. I'll do
So,
it in public and just be like, "That is clear to that gamer share." So there,
well,
so yeah.
I want to thank you so much, Vocal, for coming on to speak with us today, to give us some insight into your creative process. Everybody, go check out his socials, go check out his
Oh,
SoundCloud. You will be happy you did. So, thank you
oh,
so much, Vocal.
thanks for having me, Cher. This was fun. This
You
was
got it.
fun.
You got it. And so, folks, we are going to transition on over. And just so you guys know, I will, in fact, be taking the weekend off. My next broadcast should be on Monday. And we will be doing some artwork because, as you guys know, I have been on the wonderful campaign over in Nerdlandia, like we mentioned, Evan Rune. And so Cole has a vocab book. And I will be doing a new page for his vocab book on stream. Certainly, I should have that out to my socials. So please stay tuned for the time. But I'm thinking around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, which I believe would be 1 p.m. Central. Otherwise, until the next time, I just want to thank you all for coming by the channel. As usual, every way that you guys support, whether it's stopping by, sharing the channel, donating tips and bits, all of that helps to support me and continue to bring consistently high quality content to the channel. So, with that, I will see you guys next time. Mwah. Peace. This is Vocal Outburst and 88 Riddles.